It is high noon in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You are tuned to 710 Radio, Rosemary's World of Cannabis. You know how we do each and every time when we on the show, we go ahead and get the commercials out the way and get y'all informed with today's speaker. Luke, are you in the building? You should be knocking on the door real soon.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory U.S. patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide, may provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Hi, my name is Ricky Williams.
My name is Evan Britton.
My name is Mark Costelli.
My name is Boo Williams.
My name is Jim McMahon.
My name is Chris Cluey.
My name is Kyle Turley. I played in one of the major North American football leagues.
I have 2 championship rings from that big game we play at the end of the season.
In college, I won a trophy that looks like this.
I was a punter for 8 seasons, and punters are football players too.
I also wrote the name of the commissioner on my headband, and everyone lost their shit.
The men who play American football are subject to a life of injury,
pain,
and disease,
both during and long after their careers are over.
And that's why I smoke pot.
That's why I smoke cannabis.
That's why I smoke weed. That's why I smoked weed when I played.
It has, without a doubt, reduced the amount of pain I live with.
It's my body. I know.
But for some reason, the major North American non-Canadian football league refuses to allow players to use cannabis.
Instead of allowing for safe, natural healing,
the sport pushes players towards addictive narcotic painkillers with serious side effects.
So let's get real, Roger.
Football players should be allowed to use medicinal marijuana
without the stigma of it being a banned substance.
Cannabis isn't a drug.
It is a medicine.
And we're back now. We waiting on Luke to call in. He should be calling in any moment now. Let's go ahead and get you some news real quick whilst we waiting on Luke. Hey, Luke, you got me tripping today, nigga. Oh, there he is. What's up, Luke?
What's going on, Rosemary? How are you?
Man, shoot, I've been busy today, man. I did back-to-back shows because you know how life is in the cannabis community. You always have to be expected, unexpected. But how are you doing today?
Man, I'm just as busy as you are. I had one heck of a weekend that's trying to recuperate from. I just found out I'm a driver again. Oh my God, such a great thing. And just getting ready for this event in May that I'm out here.
Wow, that's great. Hey, you guys got a lot of stuff going on. Hang on 1 second. My doggies are going crazy and I don't want everybody hearing them going. I'm going to play another public service announcement. We'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that.
Are you feeling like a shadow of yourself? Is your mood on its way down? You could be suffering from low THC, also known as cannabinoid deficiency, caused by 77 years of government interference via prohibition. Do you live in a medical cannabis state or the District of Columbia? Are you over the age of 18 and seeking non-toxic natural health, well-being, and peace of mind? Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. After 10,000 years of recorded human use and 77 years of failed prohibition on the world's most extensively tested plant, the results are in. Cannabis has no known lethal dose and is arguably the safest and most comprehensive therapeutic substance known to man. Cannabis remained in the United States pharmacopoeia until 1941, and cannabinoids are currently patented by the federal government as an anti-inflammatory, U.S. patent 6630507. Human brains have cannabinoid receptors. Cannabinoids are lubricants in the human body. Due to prohibition, our bodies have been denied essential lubrication. Imagine never changing or adding to the oil in your car. The use of cannabis for low THC may cause immediate relief, including a general feeling of well-being, chronic smiling or laughing, feelings of euphoria, increased creativity or clarity, a greater appreciation for music and art, the desire to dance, increased feelings of inspiration, compassion or unity, a need for truth and justice, or you may wake feeling more well-rested than usual. It's undetermined to know exactly how many symptoms the use of cannabis may alleviate because of federal prohibition. There were dozens identified in the 1909 Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Handbook. Currently, over 80% of the population supports the right to use cannabis therapeutically, and 92% of its users have declared significant non-toxic relief. The most common side effects, which are usually mild to moderate and may fade or disappear completely over time, are dry mouth and drowsiness. Other more serious side effects can include growing and repairing brain cells and DNA, or improve vision, may prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, glaucoma, nausea, and suicide, may provide relief from autism, asthma, anorexia, arthritis, AIDS, cancer, Crohn's, depression, epilepsy, fibromyalgia, gout, IBS, insomnia, MS, migraine, pain, Parkinson's, PTSD, and spasticity. Use caution while driving or doing other physical activities until you know how cannabis affects you. May cause paranoia or nervousness, specifically caused by real-life government intervention in your quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in the USA. Ask your doctor if cannabis may be right for you. Brought to you as a public service announcement by the People's Plant, a campaign of conscience.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I think Emmett and Lazy think they rule this show, man, to be totally honest with you, because they cut up sometime awfully bad. So, if those people didn't hear, can you go ahead and repeat that last part you just said, Luke, because they might be didn't hear you, because Emmett and Lacy was going off.
About the event?
Yes.
I'm hosting an event out here in May at the Edison Hotel. Discussion of both cannabis and hemp, it's called. And that's what I've been working on, along with doing, I'm working on the decriminalization and a resolution bill for Sunbury, Pennsylvania as well.
Oh, wow.
So I've been pretty cool. And then all these travel, and I go, oh my God. So I was going to retire there in December, remember that?
Yeah? And I told you that wasn't going to last long?
It didn't work out very well. I got bored and decided to come back in full force again, and we're off and running. And we're all over the place. I'm in Ann Arbor in May. We're going to go join Captain Kurt and them up there in Hash Bash. I'm excited about that.
Hey, man. Hey, if you need somebody to cover the event, I've never been to Hash Bash, and that would be great for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Throw my name in that hat, okay?
Well, we're going up as a group to drive over there in April. It's April 7th. It's also during the Monroe Street Fair up there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was born in Michigan. I've never been to it because I don't know. I'm just never on that side of the world when it happens. So I'm excited because it's the first time, and I'm super excited to see some great people out there and meet some great people out there.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a heck of a time. But you said the 7th, that's going to still be cold, so I pass.
April 7th it is. And then we're going, our next big trip after that is I'm going out to California for a week. And finally excited, so many reasons why. And this one's actually going to be a recreational, fun vacation, this trip is.
Oh, you're going to love it out there. Make sure you take a lot of pictures because I lived through y'all pictures. Y'all just don't know it. I can imagine that's going to be a fun trip, especially with all the laws and everything done changed. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the boy with us this time, and we're going out to it's going to be great. And, you know, that's funny that you say that you live through our photos. I just got an email the other day from a family that I guess the grandmother recently has gotten involved in curiosity of medical marijuana and hemp and came across our page. And this lady, she hasn't been able to travel or do nothing for years because of her health. So recently she's been traveling across the country with us for our pictures, with me and my son and our videos and stuff. And that right there is one of the smallest things, but yet the biggest reward for me of why I do what I do as a patient advocate. Right there. Something so simple that you help somebody accomplish something that they're doing through your vision or your journey, you know, just like you.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I hear that a lot too. I mean, between the shows that, because at one point I was going to retire just like you was, Luke, and I said, you know, I heard a lot of people say no, said don't quit, keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, people actually, you know, get something out of what, I know they get a lot out of what you do, because I love everything you do myself personally. I'm a huge fan, and I get a lot out of it. So I know if I'm getting something out of it, can you imagine what other people is getting out of it? I get to talk to you on a person-to-person basis, but others don't get that chance to. So yeah, you do a lot out there, and that's why I was like, your retirement will not last long, and I was right. You didn't even make it a good 60 days.
I know, that's what my boss said. My boss said that I didn't even make it as long as they expected. They expected at least 60, 90 days. But it's, you know, when I got thinking about it, and this is who I am. I'm supposed to be doing this right now, and it can always be worse, so why not embrace what I got now?
Exactly, and I'm happy to know that you did not stay retired long. I knew it wasn't going to happen, because, yeah, the first few days, you can't tell me you didn't feel, the weight of the world lifted off you, but then you slowly but surely start looking at Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and you start back really posting a little bit, and then the phone rings, and bam, there you go.
You know what it was? It took me 45 days to clear my projects. It took me 45 days to back away from it, and I got thinking, I'm like, holy crap. I can't stop. I mean, I literally was bored.
Yep.
It's funny. And I can say this and laugh about this, because we all kind of do at my job. So my job is very supportive of what I do as a patient advocate in medical marijuana, and what I've done in Pennsylvania has been part of. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny, because I'm in a position with my job to where if I need to take time off for an event or a speech or a conference or something, they give it to me just so gradually. It's just like, go do it. And I think that's so amazing, because we need more employers, and more companies.
I don't know who you work for, but I would love to give them a big hug and a kiss, and you tell them, as Green Jeans says, thank you so very much, because by you doing what you're able to do and maintain a job, that makes it even more easier for you to do that, because what a lot of people find out in my situation right now, I haven't been able to travel as much as that, because I don't have any sponsorship. And two, I'm not working. And when you don't have the combination of the two, it's very hard. I mean, it is very, very hard. So when you do the events you do and other people post up, that's why I be saying post up pictures, because I would love to be to a lot of the events. I even get invitations to come to some of the events, but it's a struggle just to get to the events when you have no sponsorship. But I don't let it stop me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you came out of retirement.
And see, and that's, you know, that's something I wanted to touch base on too, is I've been getting a lot of people lately. It's been kind of weird, because I deal with PTSD and depression, so believe it or not, dealing with mental health doing this is my biggest challenge every day, because, oh my God, I'm not used to people, I'm not used to meeting new people, so this is a whole new trend for me. And it brought me up because people ask me how I do what I do. It's what sponsors do I carry? Do I carry any sponsors? I've had a few sponsors, but they're not sponsors like your normal, what you would think, like AT&T or Nike or this or that. When it comes to people that want to help with this journey, I don't see them as sponsors. They're people who are trying to do something to make the world a better place. And that's the way they know how to do it. Because not everybody can come out and be as public as I am. I'm very blessed that I have my children's mothers know that I'm a different person with this plant. People know that I'm a different person with this plant. So it's okay for me to be as loud and public as I am. Other people don't have that choice. other people use this plant that keep them alive, and they still don't have that choice to tell people. So
You're so right when you said just that right then, because if you don't have a support, they have to be 100% supportive. They cannot be on the fence. And trust me, I know that 110% because I'm in that situation, but I keep going, because I know that the benefits outweigh the criticism and and the sacrifice. And what people fail to realize, it is a true sacrifice just to do what we do each and every day. And I suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder as well, besides a total knee replacement and about 15 other things I don't want to make public out there. And this is my medicine. This is what helps me get up each morning. And by me living in the state I'm living in, I'm illegally healing. And that's not something I'm proud to say, but it's true. I cannot let this state kill me. And believe me, I am trying to find a way to hurry up and get the hell out of here. Because it's dangerous. I mean, it's dangerous trying to be well.
Right. And see, I was just actually was in a conversation. I'm a cannabis refugee. When I started this and I started using medicinal marijuana, I was a resident of Indiana with my son, and I had a life there. But in order for me to use this choice and to make myself live by nature and to do it to show people that it's working, I had to leave and go across the country to do so. I refused and cannot be in a state that doesn't allow medical marijuana of some type because I can't live without it. And that's one of the things that I've been blessed with, that I've been able to be in states that are legal. And I wish I could share my life with so many people just for the aspect of knowledge that you learn. I mean, once you accept it and realize that, man, anything you put in your temple is going to kill you unless it's nature and it's not organic, you're kind of stuck on the fence anyway, because it is such a life-changing thing in this point, and that's why we all need to come together as one. And I've been saying this for years, I'm in a legal state, and I know I'm safe, but I got to reach out to other states and other communities and other towns to help them be safe too, because it ain't all about me. It ain't all, and we all want the same thing at the end of the day.
Exactly. And that's the key thing. A lot of people have to learn that when you're doing this. When I have a lot of people that ask me this question, how can I become an advocate? And the first thing I'll be like, are you ready to give 110%? And if you're involved in a relationship, is your spouse, your family, and everything? Because when you decide to do this, you include your whole family, like it or not. And that's what a lot of people don't tell people. I'd rather tell them to be open and honest with them, because if they're not 110% in this, donate monetarily if it ain't number $2. But if you got to be in it for the long haul, because I've seen people come and go in this, and me and you both have, Luke, and thank you for mentioning you're a refugee. I'm a refugee too, but unfortunately I could not stay in Colorado. I was out there for a year, and I got a lot of knowledge and a lot of exposure. But to be honest with you, I'd rather be back there. My goal is now trying to get to my home state of Florida, because it is legal there in the state, my home state. So that is my ultimate goal.
I tell people when they ask me how can I do that? What can I do? I always tell people the first 3 letters in activism of anything is what?
Act.
ACT, act on it. Go act. Because that was something I had said. I think when we first met in Colorado, I was talking about that on 710 Radio with Rick Wainwright.
That is correct.
You look at activism, like you and 10 of your friends are sitting in your room, and you guys are all smoking that joint, and you're bitching about the government, and you're hating this, and you're hating that. Well, somebody is going to start the conversation. Well, let's do something about it. By the time I get to that front door, I guarantee you I'm the only one walking down the sidewalk at the moment. What you guys want to do is up to you. How bad do you want it?
That is it. You have to, and that's the thing, and I like how you put that way, because you have to. And I mean, doing it in southern states like we're doing it, and you know, I mean, Indiana is one of the worst states in the country for it. It's worse than South Carolina, as far as aspect that in Louisiana. If you're an activist out there, you really putting a price on your head worse than here. I mean, people don't understand how serious this can be. If you're not being 110%. And this is the thing I say, if you decide you want to be an activist and you're in the South, and this is no jokes aside, first and foremost, be active in your community. And what I mean by this, don't go out there smelling like weed or nothing like that. Go talk to your city council.
Yep.
Trust me, this saves you a lot of heartache, because guess who's going to be sitting up in the city council meeting? 9 times out of 10, the chief of police and the county sheriff.
See, and I tell people that too, and because so many people are under that stigma of law enforcement and talking the same conversation, somebody's getting searched and there's probably going to be a charge. Wrong. That is so wrong right now, and I don't care where you at. Now, I just came back from Indiana this weekend. In Indiana's a bad, but if you approach it in a respectful manner when it comes to authority, government, whatever, I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 times, you are going to, believe it or not, have a mind-blowing conversation with somebody standing in front of you in a badge.
You ain't kidding.
Here's why. Because that same guy has the same mind in the endocannabinoid system as you do. The only difference is they pay him to pay his bills to ruin your life. Now, if you keep it on a respectful, educational, and level that it should be, it's a medicine. Now, granted, there's a recreational part of it, and there's just like alcohol. It's going to be, but there's no medical value to alcohol. So, you know, it's all matter how you look at it. I mean, if you go into it and you're like, well, I got to remember, you know what, I should be a prime example of the government and some of the government entities targeting you, because they done stuck me on a domestic terrorist watch list.
Wow.
I had to fight to get off. I'm now able to buy an airline ticket. Thank God, because that's my travel time down.
Wow, that's crazy.
Now, see, and here's how the targeting happens. Good example. And it's not intentional. It's just the way our system runs. I was making a certain payment with cash. All my cash derived is spent pretty much cannabis sponsored money, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So because that's there, and I refuse to give my sponsor names up, and I couldn't prove that taxes were paid on it, I was penalized for it. How did I get penalized? Well, let's see. I got put into the system, which made them confiscate the money that I paid that they said was drug money, because now that our government can forfeit and seize anything you own if you're not compliant, and that's the biggest part too. If you're going to be an activist and you're going to stand in a Bible Belt or somewhere like Indiana or Midwest, know your laws.
You best better.
First and foremost, know your rights. You know, because if you don't know your rights, you're probably going to run into some trouble.
Yep.
And I always say this because I've come across when I did the bridge walk up in Mackinac. Good example. A few years ago, we did the bridge walk, me and my son.
Mm-hmm.
We were being filmed for a video, and somebody called CPS on us because I had my son on this cannabis journey. Now, it went horribly wrong. It could have. But it went out because, why? For one, I'm a patient, I'm in a legal state, and I'm still a father. I'm sorry, my kid's here. It's nobody's problem but my own. He's in perfectly good arms. And it went just like that. We went on our way, they went on their way. So it's all a matter of how you approach it, too. You know, you can't just go screaming and, oh, yeah, let's change the world. Don't be compliant doing it.
Exactly.
You know, don't go driving across the state that you know is completely illegal doing dabs on YouTube.
Heck no. That's the quickest way of getting pulled over. Because they monitor, and people can say what they want, but right about now, we know they monitoring your Facebook. I know they monitor my Facebook. If you got anything with cannabis or weed or whatever you say on it, you're gonna be constantly monitored. That's point blank. Point blank.
They tried shutting the whole big law down. They tried taking this idea of mine, an idea, and taking it away because of what I do as an activist, because they said I'm non-compliant to government and federal regulations. You know what? That's just wording, buddy. I'm a patient. I'm a card holder. Let's fight.
There you go.
Again, if you're going to be an activist, it's the perception of how you look at it and approach it, but it's also, like you said, the drive. If you don't have your whole heart into it, or you have an ill motive for doing it, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to survive.
You won't stay with it. I'm going to tell you that now because it's going to challenge you. I mean, I've talked to a lot of some of the greats out here right now through Personal Messenger and everything that at one point they wanted to quit, and I told them you can't quit. You cannot quit because the point of it is this. I see you're at that threshold. You're being told no, but your breakthrough is about to come true. And one of those people has just been honored recently as High Times top 100 influential people. So it's like this. Sometimes you had to give that other person just a little push. I mean, we've been there and done that. I mean, me and you both, Luke. You got to think about how many people we done seen personally. Me and you both have dropped on the wayside.
And you know, that's funny. I was just talking to the other day. Somebody had mentioned, I have my page that I've had for years, and then we had the Opie's Law page that Facebook took away because of my activism.
Right.
And it's amazing to see who, and what tickles me is to see that who is still here when I started as a public figure 5 years ago, and who's still here but that's going through 10 different things. It's all about what you're trying to get out of it. I, personally, me and Opie's Law and this idea, all we're trying to do is make the world a better place one seat at a time. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I make $1. I don't care if I lose $1,000. As long as I can help at least one person a day understand why this medicine has to be in your body with your endocannabinoid system, I'm satisfied.
See, and I think that's the reason why I've been here as long as I have, because I started out a little later, but the point is this: we met up at the time my plateau had hit, that I first came out as Miss Green Jeans with One Blunt Radio and 710 Radio, coming from Colorado to coming from South Carolina to Colorado. So meeting you was definitely feather in my hat, and so many other people that has went on to bigger and better things that's really doing incredible stuff now, like Mike Wise show. It's a lot of people that's just, has blown up in this industry.
I want to give a huge shout out to, and I'm going to say this publicly, my favorite, most best place to go to in Colorado is iBake Radio.
Man, that you talking about somebody that lasted. Wow, that's one for you.
I have not really said that and confirmed that any time during this, but yes, I got thinking about this, and I'm not being a favoritism to nobody. It ain't about whose name's in the building. It's just really, it's one of those places that when you think about this industry and think about it recreational or medically, that's wow.
Yeah, iBake has been around longer than both of us. And it's still going on. And I got to give a shout out to everybody. I don't even know. I've been so busy. I haven't got a chance to really chat with iBake. Who's still there?
Same thing. I haven't really had a chance. When I was out in Denver just recently, I stopped in there for a brief moment, and I got so much going on in my world. I kind of lose track of what's happening in my friends' world. I feel so bad for that.
Well, they understand what you do, and they're definitely probably smiling from ear to ear if they listen to this broadcast that iBake is even mentioned. Each time I went out there, I had a great time, and I always talk about iBake. And I guess if we're gonna give up favorites, my shout outs to the weed pimps in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
The weed pimps, definitely. That's a group. I was referring to just as a facility or whatever you want to call it, but the weed pimp's definitely a huge shout out. I actually am a weed pimp. I have the tattoo. I'm a weed pimp 52. That was my number. Mm-hmm. And I got that the first time we met when we did I did Red Rock Canyon.
Yep, I think you did too, because the only thing I associate with them, but I don't have the tattoo. But if it would be any tattoo I'd get, that would be it. Is because I love those guys out there in Colorado, and I mention them a lot, and I've mentioned them a lot over the years, and they've always showed me love. They told me anytime I'm out there and I want to do a show out there, they open up the doors for me. So I feel like I am a weed pimp. I guess my weed pimp number that'll be identified later on in life, but hey, those guys show a lot of love, and we follow each other, we chat with each other, it's like a family out there.
Huge fans of those guys. I mean, awesome. When I got to meet them, and just phenomenal. And it's people like that is my inspiration. There's so many people I can't even mention, but it's like I look at what look like you, like Dr. Kush, like Rick, like Mary from the Cannabis College, and just amazing people. Les Stark out here in Pennsylvania, Patrick Nightingale, that's inspiration. And that's just, if they can do that, we can do this. Yeah. And we can do it just awesome. And if enough of us do it together, between all of us, we'll have a lot of shit accomplished, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to think about it. All of us have moved in different directions, but like Rick, he's still with 710, and that's the reason why we're doing the show today. You got Kush, he's doing his own thing through One Blunt, and iBake is still doing their thing. It's just, we still puddling along, in different directions, and I was just happy enough that that I was able to still keep doing what I'm doing out here in South Carolina. So, like I said, I'm getting ready to step the game up to the next level myself, and probably eventually gonna have to lead the nest myself and go on to bigger, better adventures. But when I do, it's gonna be through the state of Florida, and living that dream me and you've always talked about. I want to be in that spot where I can go ahead and help people get jobs in this industry. That's something I've always talked about. I want to give that person that opportunity that really want to come up in the music business, hopefully to have a platform to put that on. And that's what makes me go, because music has always been my lifeline. I didn't totally get into this to be a politician, but for whatever reason it wound up me talking about politics, and that's become my second love. And for this fight for this beautiful plant that's helped me keep alive, because I was on my way to death on the pain medications they were giving me. And when you met me, I was just coming off all those medications, and then to find out so many people that me and you both touched, like Olaf, whilst we were there. And I mean, it's just the stories that we can talk about for the next 3 hours of people that got off of opioids in that time period in 2014 that nobody knew about until the after stories come out, and it's just incredible that what we have seen personally through going to different meetings there in the Senate and House there in the state of Colorado, in Denver alone. Just one of the best memories I had during one of those sessions that me, Kush, and the late V-Jams went to was we was up at the State House for hearings, and it was about the children having the CBD oil. I'll never forget, I think I was been there like the second or third day, and this lady, her baby started having a seizure during the hearing, and this lady reached in her purse and pulled out a dropper and put this dropper in this baby's mouth, and how instantaneously these seizures stopped. I think that's what just enlightened that fire even more. So when I did have to come back here to South Carolina, beating my head up against the wall many a times trying to figure out how to make this thing work. So yeah, Luke, we do it because we love it. I mean, and that's why when you talk about retirement, when I left off the air with that day, I had a tear in my eye. I said, "Why are you sitting here crying? He'll be back. He just like you said you were gonna quit, and you did. He'll be back, and here we are." Right.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm just honored to do what I do. I love what I do. The politics part of it, I hate it, but it works. That's what makes this world go around. Yeah. So I jumped into the not really politics, and nobody's special. I've just been educating myself more on how city council works, what a resolution is, and and that's part of the big thing with being an activist. You got to really know what you're doing in a way, and that's why it's a learning process every day. People say that I'm very intelligent with this plant and the process and the science, and I'm only this intelligent because I taught myself. Because you got to remember, when I was learning this as a teenager into an adolescent adult, they didn't have the books and stuff because why? The propaganda against it. So everything, it's been a learning process. And people was just asking me, somebody asked me the other day, well, how can I be a good grower? How can I, you know what? It's practice, trial and error. Only you can do what you want to do. Can't nobody really give you the tool to do it. I mean, they can give you tools to help you achieve it, but it's the perception of how you use those tools.
Exactly, because I think about whilst it's there, and a lot of my stuff go back to Denver, especially Cannabis University, Miss Lachelle Lemay. I went to that class 2014. I learned even more, even though I had read High Times for over X amount of years, and still I seen that plant, touched that plant, felt that plant, and truly smoked and understood that plant, the breakdown of that plant and everything else. I was just a user.
That's why that's why it's such a necessary call for activists like you, like me, like everybody should be, because where I'm at in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, good example. Mm-hmm. Because marijuana is such a stigma, the people that are here don't really know nothing about it. So that's why it's essential and it's important for people to be teaching everybody. My goal when I wake up every day after I make my bed is I want to teach 2 people something new about this plant. I don't care if it's hemp, I don't care if it's cannabis, CBD is what, but 2 people I try to drive for. Because, again, we're at a time to where it's okay to have these discussions. You don't have to be, it's okay, people. Talk about cannabis, talk about hemp, talk about medical marijuana, whatever, but talk about it. Because the more you talk about it, the more it's going to implant people's brain to why it needs to be legal, it needs to be free, it needs to be just yours if that's your choice.
Exactly. It gives you another option. And the thing about it is this, Luke, we got so many seniors that never tried cannabis in their life. Since I've been doing this show here in South Carolina, I've talked to 50 seniors. 50. And just in this little area of Rock Hill alone, that never done cannabis before, but they've seen me out in public, they recognize me from either doing the news or on Facebook or something, and they see me and they stop me and they talk to me about it. And you would be surprised, I know you wouldn't be, but a lot of the listeners probably would be surprised on the walks of life some of these people come from.
Oh God, yes. It's funny because that you say that, because I recently, like I said, I've got into the politic part of it, and I've been talking to a lot of really cool people, mayors, governors, and just cool stuff like that. And I do research on some of these people, and nowhere in their history up until now have they really ever publicly discussed any type of thing to do with hemp, cannabis, or anything. So you sit there and go, wow, what happened? It's really weird. The lady at the bank, 50 years old. She just learned about it's a medical state here in Pennsylvania. What is it, she says. So yeah, I get that too. I get a lot of people to go, hey, you're that weed guy. You're the guy from Facebook. That's what I get.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, I seen you, this is a favorite one I love. I seen you on the news talking about weed. I get that one a lot.
Right. So we got, on the way back from Indiana this weekend, the car broke down a few hours away from the house, and the tow truck driver, this was a really small town in Pennsylvania, I don't even think it's on the map, it's so small. When I handed this guy my business card, you could see in his face, there were no words needed. He looked at this card and he thought probably, what the hell just happened? Because those are the places that they don't even talk about this plant. And that's what needs to change. And, and that's one of the reasons I don't attend a lot of huge events. I go off the beaten path. Because everybody at these huge events, they already know the benefits and know what's going on and whatnot.
That is so true. That is a very good point. You know what? I hadn't really thought about it like that, Opie, to be honest with you, Luke. I really had not thought about what you just said until now, and that makes perfectly good sense. You know, a lot of people are upset that they don't go to these events, but the smaller events are some of the better events. I went to Harvest to the Good last year up in Charlotte because I was the mistress of ceremonies last year, and let me tell you something, we had some great speakers. Now we're talking about in North and South Carolina where cannabis is not even legal yet, and we had some vegan vendors and some CBD vendors, and it was a wonderful afternoon, and they were very knowledgeable the whole 9 yards about this plant.
Right, and that's why, like, if you've been with us on our journey from get-go, you see us at a couple big events, but then you see us in a lot of towns that you couldn't even find on freaking Google. That's because those places don't have the resources like that CannaCon did over there in Seattle.
Right.
So they need those same choices, those same options, that same education and awareness. That's why I'm here.
Wow.
I would love to be there, but I really need to be here because this is important too.
You know what? I love the way you think, man. I love it.
Rosemary, I could be sitting right now. I could be sitting on the West Coast right now, either on an island or in California on a platform, growing marijuana or cannabis, whatever you want to call it. But that's not who I am. I need to be here because it ain't about me. It ain't about nothing else besides making the world a better place. We're all in it together.
Yep, that's what. That's the reason I'm going to Florida to speak. April 20th. I had been asked to come back out to Denver. I was asked to come out to DC. But even though Florida is legal, in my area where I grew up in Alachua County, is not a lot of people that look like me do what I do. And the stigma is still heavy there in the state of Florida, so I was asked to come out and speak for the people of my hometown there in Gainesville. So I totally understand. I mean, and
when we spoke in Florida in 2015, we went down there, and that was the one state that I was really petrified of. For some reason, that was the state that I was scared of the most of being in was Florida.
Yeah, because Florida has some of the harshest rules in the country as far as cannabis is concerned before that bill passed. So yeah, you were right. You had a right to be. Trust me. They don't mind locking you up. They don't.
Right. So,
hey, the motto goes: go to Florida on vacation, come back on probation.
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited to be a part of this movement. I'm not really quite sure how important I am to the movement, but I guess people love me. This idea that I promote, if I can talk about it for a quick minute.
You know the mic is always open to you at any time you need to talk. Go for it, man.
So a lot of the listeners may not know, Opie's Law is a common law idea that I've been promoting for 5 years for any seed. Because, again, it's not just about cannabis, it's not just about hemp. There's other seeds that the government is taking from us. I mean, someplace you can't even grow a freaking tomato plant. So I promote in this common law idea for a national level. Because it should be one law that if I want to grow hemp to make some sweatshirts while I'm waiting for my medicine to grow, that should be my choice. Without a permit, without a competition to get a permit, without nothing. That should just be my choice, just like it should be yours. Now, I compare it to the Amish because it's kind of simple and it makes sense. Now, the Amish people, they live their lifestyle and have done for hundreds of years. Outside of committing a murder, we don't mess with the Amish. They do their thing. Well, we should have that same right when it comes to treating ourselves with nature. We should have that right when it comes to trying to self-sustain our life through nature with hemp or anything else like that. Because I would much rather have a cannabis plant in my bedroom reproducing my oxygen than I would really a nasty old tree in my backyard. That's how I see it. So I've been promoting this law, and recently we just found out exactly we have our representative in the government that's willing to present my idea to the floor with the signatures for the petition. So it's pretty amazing how an idea can go so far. And one of the I was going to touch back a little bit. We were talking about being such a public figure. The reason I am so public at what I do is because when I started this, it was because I knew cannabis could fix and help manage my mental health. I knew that. Now, you and I both, Rosemary, know that I was also sick during that time, and I never changed that integrity to mental health because people need to see and realize that you can deal with mental health and manage it, and you don't need to fill your temple with 10,000 prescriptions. You can do it just by simply eating a brownie. You can do it by simply just taking a Toad, having a drink. And that's why I'm so public, because yes, it does work. If you know me and know my history and why OB is OB, you will see that in the past 5 years, I have been the most productive to any community than I've ever been in my whole life. Why? The biggest reason, first and foremost, is I quit doing pharmaceuticals. I learned cannabis and hemp and all natural things could fix my body because of my endocannabinoid system. And so my drive was to live versus being a statistic. Here we are. So that is what I hope people see and go, damn, it's up with that. And that's why I do this very loudly too. And I do that loud cannabis. That's why I go to India and I want to talk to the mayor and I want to talk to the governor, because I want them to see me. I'm just like you are, buddy. I just use cannabis.
Yep. And you know what? You feel the exact same way I do, and that's the reason why I do the shows I do, because I know for a fact I don't take all the pharmaceuticals that I was on before, and look what it's done for me. It's given me a life that I wouldn't have had if I'd have kept taking the pharmaceuticals and all the medicines they wanted me to take for as pain and for my PTSD and for all the other things. At one point I was on 22 pills a day. 22 total. That's with the day dosage and the night dosage. So that was just too many pills. I couldn't see me taking that for the rest of my life. I have 6 grandchildren that need me. So I'm like, no. So when I met you, I was on my journey to learn more, because I had did all the reading I could do. I've been studying the cannabis plant itself through different from herbal books on since 1985. So book knowledge is one thing, but until you actually go out to somebody's grow or dispensary or X amount of things that I did on this journey, I learned so much more. And when I got a chance to actually see and grow a harvest and got the chance to do that just totally blew my mind away. To see what I helped grow, it actually wasn't my grow, but I helped this person from the time they planted the seed through harvest. That right. That is a change. Listen, I can't even put it in words how much of a change in my life that made go through that process.
And it's so amazing too, because we're coming into a whole new world and revolution of how this plant is seen, and more people are getting to experience it either recreationally or medicinally, or being able to grow it in their home. And it's so amazing because people think there's so much that goes into growing a plant. And you know, it really isn't, because if you think about it, if you put it in a positive aspect, if you want that plant to be beautiful and be the most best girl it could possibly grow, it will do that. Because if you connect yourself with it on a energy level, it's easy. People, I watch this industry, there are thousands of products you can use to make an awesome plant. There are hundreds of lights. And you know what? When you look at it, it's just a weed. All you need is sunlight and soil and a little bit of water.
That's right. That is so true.
If you're thinking about what you want to grow a plant, because believe it or not, people, I and many others have said this, to grow one cannabis plant with mental health is very therapeutic.
Exactly. I know. I have a veteran friend of mine that's out in Colorado. That is his therapy. And I went through that journey with him whilst I was there. He was, I guess you could say, my second teacher. And he sat down for the first 2 days before I even touched the plant or anything else, and we talked. And he was telling me about how therapeutic it was, and for, you know, what got him started into it. You know, by him having such a high plant count, he couldn't afford to go out and buy it himself. So he figured, you know, since I can grow, let me go ahead and take this challenge. And now I believe he has his own company. I can't say his name or anything because I haven't talked to him about putting his information out there like that. So unfortunately I can't say his name. But for people that's been out in Denver know who I'm talking about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've yet to taste any product that has touched his yet.
That's how it is. That, you know, and another public, and I guess one of the best strain that I've been able to play with comes from Washington. It's Old Toby. It's Matt Gordon who breeds it, grows it. You know, I've tried a lot of strains on this journey, and when I use cannabis, when I use it medically. So I'm always curious to what the name is, where it's from, what's it do, how's it this, how's it that. So I do research in it. So I always look for a good strain that's good for my mental health.
Right.
That strain is there. If you ever get the opportunity, Rosemary, go try that strain.
What strain is that again?
Matt Gordon, the Old Toby.
Matt Gordon. Okay, I will if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be somebody. Gonna have to bless me that, because for it to make it that far out this way would be a blessing.
You know, and it's amazing too, because now that I was just talking to somebody too, now that we're in such a cusp of this industry opening up, to see the talent that brings people with this industry is amazing. Glass blowers, people who do, wow.
Yes, indeed. Until you ever see the first time that is done, that's a show in itself. I mean, I hadn't even seen glass blowers until I got to Denver. So you're so right, and that's what I said. It's bringing jobs. I mean, jobs in all aspects.
Just think about all this, and I try to tell every time I talk to like a congressman or a senator or something, I always try to say that. Look at all of that talent you got hidden away in closets around your state that could be bringing income in to your state.
That's so true.
Why are they not doing it? Well, because they don't know how to sell their stuff without going to jail or being raided. If you allow them to do so, look at the taxes you can make on it. Look at the money that comes back into your state, your community. That's why I'm pushing kind of this decrim resolution that I'm working on here in Sunbury, because I want them to realize this. When you can vote for marijuana, that is a state charge. Now, realistically, nothing against any states, I'm not talking shit. However, wouldn't it be great if you could just pay it, take it, if you got caught with a bag of weed, and know that money might go to maybe keep the lunches down for the schools, maybe help pay for part of the library, because guess what? It will add up.
That is so true.
You know, people need to get up involved with their own communities, because that's a small step. But that small step, right now in Pennsylvania, there are 6-7 cities that are decriminalized. What that means, people, is just say you get that vape and you forget to take the bag out of your pocket when you go to the store and get pulled over, you won't be going to jail that day. You're going to get a ticket and probably lose your bag of weed. But hey, you know, you're not going to jail, it's not on your record, and you're not going to be labeled as a loser for marijuana.
That is so true.
That's why things like this is so important. That's why people need to get involved, because realistically what goes on in the local law is going to affect you. And if it's got something to do with this plant, it's going to hurt you more. You can kill somebody and still get an SSI check. You get caught with marijuana, you can't even get food stamps.
That is so true. That is so true. Shoot, you can't get food stamps, you can't get government housing, none of that. You can't get no kind of assistance. None.
Exactly. You can't. And so that's why it's important. It's just a small thing, a resolution or a decrim bill. And right now, a lot of people are like, it should be decriminalized. Well, and I understand that. But you know what? For some reason, this seems to be a start, and it seems to be a movement, because once this city hears about it, what do you think the neighboring city's going to want to get involved in?
Because you got to think about it like this here. If it's decriminalized, and all that officer's got to do is write a ticket, that means he can go to somewhere else and take care of more serious crime that's being committed.
Exactly. You know, we sit here and we I'm sorry, going there. But yeah, you're right. They should be doing something more important, or putting those resources into trying to give a better image back to the community.
Exactly.
Because again, the stigma of a police officer anyways in the community nowadays, well, you know, it's a bit tarnished.
Woo, tarnished ain't the word. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I remember Officer Friendly back in the day, but now, Officer Friendly drives a tank down the street, so, no.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's why I say again, if you want to be an activist and be in this movement and change laws, do it respectfully, because realistically, if you approach them just because they have a bad frame of mind, you're going to get that bad ass kicker when it comes.
That is so fair.
If you approach it with it's a human being. He's just doing his job, just like I'm doing my job as an activist. Guess what? We can work together. And when I say work together, I don't mean I'm a snitch. It don't mean he's a pothead. What that means is we've come to a compromise. He knows I'm a medical patient. That's why he's not going to try to throw me in jail for trying to live.
Exactly. And that's the best way we're going to close on that, Luke. Hey, you know, Luke, anytime, any place, anywhere, I don't care where I'm at in the United States of America, and I'm on that mic, guess what? You have an open door policy. Anytime you got something that you think anybody needs to know that needs to be updated, please let me know. Just hit me up on my Facebook. You know I got you, right?
I will love it. We're so honored to be on your show today. Thank you for the great welcome back, and we love you guys.
I love you too. Let me go ahead and let you do what you do. Tell people how to get in touch with you real quick, please.
All right, my friend. One love.
One love. That was Opie from Opie's Law, guys. Hey, that was a great show. I am so glad he is back from retirement. I mean, but he brought out some great stuff, and that's something we probably have to look at here in South Carolina, because I got a feeling we can't get this bill up to committee. We might have to look at decriminalization. If you're listening, different SC Compassion South Carolina, and all the rest, are you listening? We might have to look at part 2. We might have to look at going to our counties and see can we get decrim on the ballot somewhere the way. Because we got to do something. I'm tired of seeing every time I turn around people here in York County being arrested for cannabis. So I guess that's what we're going to have to look at. So guys, my time is just about up for today. Once again, I'd like to thank Luke for coming out and doing what he does best. And thank you, Rick, for letting me do what I do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Keep you entertained and informed about the world of cannabis and the constant changing laws across the country, and hopefully be international shortly soon. We're going to go ahead and end it with how we always do. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. It's like this. Cannabis can save a lot of lives. We lose 22 or more today to suicide, which is a sad thing. We always ask our buddies, if you're in the military, do I have your 6? I have your 6. Do you have mine? If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing what I do. My veteran friends have my 6. Make sure you talk to 3 people today. In other words, that means you go up to 3 people if you're bold and brave enough and think you can talk about cannabis. Guess what? You might be surprised. Make sure one of them might be the police. Ask them, do they know about the current cannabis bills in your state? 9 times out of 10 they don't. So you'll be informing that officer to keep him from preventing him from violating somebody's laws. Once again, guys, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. on the Wake and Bake Show. It's the party edition. You don't want to miss it. It's my time, y'all. I love you. One love. And also from the Rocky Mountain tops of Denver, Colorado, all the way down to the Clay here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You've been informed, educated, and entertained. You can't get nothing better than that on a talk show. We'll catch y'all on Thursday with Elevated Ellen. That's my time, y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Ricky Williams.
My name is Evan Britton.
My name is Mark Rostelli.
My name is Boo Williams.
My name is Jim McMahon.
My name is Chris Cluey.
My name is Kyle Turley. I played in one of the major North American football leagues.
I have 2 championship rings from that big game we play at the end of the season.
In college, I won a trophy that looks like this.
I was a punter for 8 seasons, and punters are football players too.
I also wrote the name of the commissioner on my headband, and everyone lost their shit.
The men who play American football are subject to a life of injury,
pain,
and disease.
both during and long after their careers are over.
And that's why I smoke pot.
That's why I smoke cannabis.
That's why I smoke weed. That's why I smoked weed when I played.
It has, without a doubt, reduced the amount of pain I live with.
It's my body. I know.
But for some reason, the major North American non-Canadian Football League refuses to allow players to use cannabis.
Instead of allowing for safe natural healing,
The sport pushes players towards addictive narcotic painkillers with serious side effects.
So let's get real, Roger.
Football players should be allowed to use medicinal marijuana
without the stigma of it being a banned substance.
Cannabis isn't a drug.
It is a medicine.